Hello, everybody. Welcome to the PlayStation Enthusiast Podcast, Episode 6. I'm one of your hosts, Mario Piacquadio, and joining me today is Himanshu Talwar.
Hey guys, what's going on?
And Josh Brant.
Know what that's
that
from?
Uncharted fever.
It's
going
upon us,
strong.
gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, it's very close. It's a week away
One
from now.
week away.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Yep.
can't wait. Can't wait. We have a great show
that's
for
gonna
you
be so
today.
awesome.
We're gonna speak a bit about EGLX, some big games, PlayStation Plus. But for now, let's get into the PlayStation news of this week. First off, let's start by a pretty big one. A new Call of Duty was announced, and like it was rumored, it takes place in a sci-fi future. There's a lot of space combats, and it's called Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It's developed by Infinite Warfare, the makers of beloved games such as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And this piece of news has a lot to unpack, because it's not only the game's release, they also announced that they will be making a Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered that you will not be able to buy this as a standalone product, but you can get this for $80 with a legacy edition of Infinite Warfare, which has the internet a bit mad but excited at the same time. So what do you guys think of this?
I don't play Call of Duty, so I don't really have an opinion. But I hear that's the best Call of Duty game. So if they're going to remaster one of them, this was the one to do. And the internet always gets upset about things like this.
That's pretty regular.
And and they'll get upset if there's another Call of Duty anyway each year. So they're going back to the well. Might as well go to the best one, make it, optimize it. You know, I think it's a good idea, honestly, but I'm not going to play it, so I don't have an opinion either way.
Great. So what about you, Himanshu? Any opinions?
The last Call of Duty that I played was Call of Duty Ghosts, and I played it for the trophies. So,
Trophy whore.
Yeah, don't really have much of an opinion on Call of Duty.
I can speak a little bit about this. I had a period where I got really, really into Call of Duty, like competitively, and I wouldn't call myself good, but I was competitive. I really like them. Modern Warfare 1 and 2 are two of my favorite Call of Duty games. The campaigns in those games are special. They are good campaigns, meaty, like good stories, and a remaster of Modern Warfare, the original, like that's the Call of Duty game that really brought all of the multiplayer elements and that really boomed. So it seems cool. There's a little short teaser at the end of the trailer with a mission, and it seems cool. I will probably not get it. I bought the last Call of Duty, played it for about a week because I felt like I needed to play a shooter. Played for about a week, really enjoyed it, but I'm done with those games, really. But for the people that love those games, this is good news. The franchise seems to be trying to revitalize itself by introducing stuff like space combat, and it seems pretty cool to me.
Yeah, all they have to do now is go to like some alien world and battle aliens, and there you go.
Yeah, that's probably not too
alien
far.
Shooter. The most I played Call of Duty was Call of Duty 2.
Yeah,
on the Xbox 360.
That's the thing. That's made by the same developer, by Infinite Warfare, Infinity War. That's the name of the game.
Well,
Infinity Ward. Yeah.
Yes. Well, maybe it'll be good then, because that game I put hundreds of hours into, but after that, never touched them. So.
Yeah, so cool for Call of Duty fans. Definitely exciting news for them. And now moving on, another big PlayStation game which Call of Duty isn't a PlayStation game, but it's associated with it. Uh, Insomniac Games, the makers of Ratchet and Clank, announced shortly ago, that their new PS4 game, just titled Ratchet and Clank, is the fastest selling game in the franchise. Now keep in mind, this is a franchise that has 16 games. And so this is a pretty big achievement for them, especially because the Ratchet and Clank games aren't obscure titles. Like, most gamers know what Ratchet and Clank is and love it.
Right, and it's great that it's actually selling well, because it's a dormant franchise that you think wouldn't sell well. But the game came out and it blew everyone away, and rightfully so. The game's great. It deserves the 8.5 Metacritic that it's getting. I say I don't hold it in that high regard because I thought it was very repetitive. It threw a lot of new things at you, but I just felt like I was doing the same things, and I could only use 5 weapons that I felt were really good. But overall, yeah, it deserves all the praise, and I'm glad that it did well. Now for the movie, that's another story.
Yeah,
but
the movie apparently bombed, I was sort of interested. I wasn't sure if I was gonna see it, but it bombed. It didn't perform very well. I think it made a little bit over $10 million, which isn't that much, and it's not getting good reviews.
Well, just for perspective, Zootopia's been out for 8 weeks and it had still 5 million, and that's the first week for Ratchet and Clank. So that's
exactly
pretty bad. But it was only 20 million, I think.
Yeah, so they're probably gonna break even eventually.
Yeah,
so they're not gonna lose any money, but you wanna make money, and I think people involved with Sony was expecting the movie to perform a little bit better and sort of co-market with the game. Like, people would go out of the movies and say, "Oh yeah, this movie was pretty cool. Let's buy the game," but it seems to be kind of the other way around, because Ratchet and Clank is selling like crazy. People are loving it, and the movie is pretty much the exact opposite.
Yep, pretty much, and it's disappointing, but hopefully they just keep it as a video game franchise. Yeah. That's where it belongs.
Video game movies, they're practically impossible, really.
Let's hope Assassin's Creed can get
that's the one. I thought Ratchet and Clank might be able to do it, but let's see what Assassin's Creed does.
Yes.
So, moving on. First of all, congratulations to Insomniac for the fantastic game and the good sales. But moving on, Drinkbox Studios, which we'll be talking about a bit later on, has spoken about PlayStation Neo, especially Chris Farley, who works there. He doesn't think it's that much of a big deal, and he goes on and says, for some AAA developers that do very massive games, that might be just a little bit of extra work, but he doesn't think that would really affect a studio that much, just a little bit of work. And he says that personally, with his own team, they're an indie studio that, quote, doesn't really push the boundaries of the consoles. So he says they might have to do a little bit more in terms of checking with the publisher and stuff like that, but it's not gonna be really extra work for them. He thinks it's not that much of a big deal. So what do you guys think of this? We spoke about PlayStation Neo last week quite a bit, and developers are starting to give their opinions about this.
Himanshu, got anything?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of time to think about PS Neo after my long rant last episode.
Tirade.
And I kind of just want to wait until they say what it is, because I still don't believe that it's real. I want to believe that it's not real.
Can you imagine?
So I'm just gonna keep my lips shut until E3.
Yeah, that's kind of my mentality. I just want to wait and see what people think. I'm happy developers are starting to speak of it. We've gotten like the head of Mass Effect of BioWare. He said that it would be ridiculous. He was really mad about it. But seeing another developer, great developer, saying that it's not that much of a big deal really speaks out of the controversy that this whole thing has brought.
It's going to be like the Final Fantasy 13 verses, where it's supposed to come out, and then 10 years later, oh, it's really the PS5.
Yeah.
And it's backwards compatible, and it's upgradable.
Exactly, in 2026. Like, yeah, here's the PS5. There you go. Shut up.
Gosh, that would be so awesome. But
yeah. We'll have
It
to
won't
wait and
happen.
see, man. E3 is right around the corner. I'm sure they're going to speak about it there if it is real, which I think it is.
yeah, there's too much on the table now. Almost
Yeah,
has to be,
there's-
but who knows?
Yeah, it can be fake with this many people talking about it and so many people deep in the industry confirming it's real. It has to be at least being prototyped.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And now let's jump into a rumor that seems to be very exciting. So Sucker Punch, the developer of the Infamous games and Sly Cooper games, is rumored to be working on a PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game. Since Sony holds the rights to Spider-Man, this seems to fit, and it would make Sucker Punch is known for making great superhero games, so this would be a really good fit for them, and it would be an awesome marketing an awesome marketing thing in general for PlayStation, because saying they have PlayStation has the exclusive Spider-Man game, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's a freaking huge deal. That's what it
Yeah.
is. And can you imagine them making this like for the PS4, but also for the VR? Dude,
Exactly.
that'd be incredible. That would be the
Yes.
killer app that they need.
Exactly. Yeah, if they somehow tie Spider-Man to VR as well, that would be mind-blowing. Sucker Punch is really in my opinion, one of the best PlayStation developers, along with Naughty Dog. I love their games. Infamous Second
Yeah.
Son didn't have as many story elements as the previous games in the franchise, but it still was amazing. I played through it.
Yeah, it was still
I
a
think
great
3
game.
times. It's a great game.
Yeah, they just
They-
know the hardware so well.
Yeah, they do. They master gameplay. They do really fun games. They do really good open world city games, and that's what a Spider-Man game needs. We haven't had a good Spider-Man game since a very long time.
Spider-Man 2, to be
Yeah.
exact.
You could
PS2, I think?
somebody could argue like Web of Shadows and stuff like that, but yeah, Spider-Man 2 is what is generally conceived as a great game, as the last Spider-Man great game.
Yes.
What do you think,
Himanshu's sitting
Himanshu?
there in the corner. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
thinking, this Spider-Man.
So
Yes.
I don't think Spider-Man is really that cool. Actually, I think this is an awful move
dare
for Sucker Punch, because as I just mentioned, I think Spider-Man is a really stupid character and is extremely corny and goes against all of the kind of deep emotionally significant stuff that Sucker Punch has done through Infamous. And the reason why Infamous was so good, at least for me, was not only because it has amazing mechanics, but it was also because the game had a really good story, and I don't think
Yeah.
you can get good story with Spider-Man. I keep forgetting his name because that's how irrelevant he is.
Peter Parker.
Dude, you don't want to see Uncle Owen die again? That's
Oh no,
emotional,
for
man.
the 3,000th time? That's just what I want to see.
The thing is, I agree with you, Himanshu. Like, Infamous 1 and 2, the big things about the game, the amazing things were the story, and Infamous Second Son lacked that, I think, because they made that game kind of in a hurry. But they didn't really get a chance to explore the characters and explore the Delsin's motivation in the previous game. But if you put it onto a franchise that already exists, that the general audience already know what it is, everybody knows who Peter Parker is, everybody knows Uncle Owen died, they can maybe, like, yeah, all the character development is already here, we can just throw a really cool story.
Yeah, but I don't think that really cool story even exists for Spider-Man. And just to add to that, the reason why there hasn't been a good Spider-Man game is because there's no stories to tell in that universe. They've all been told, they all suck. And that's what these developers realize.
I just want a Spider-Man sim. That's all. Make it a Spider-Man sim.
Can you imagine... Can you imagine the PS4.5 box or the PS4 Neo box? You know, they always have like big characters in the back, like exclusive characters, like Knack, for example, which
and
isn't
it's that
the best
stupid-looking
character.
Spider-Man on the box. Oh my god, that would be so infuriating.
But you know how many consoles would that sell, though?
None, because no one cares about Spider-Man. Why haven't they made a new Spider-Man movie? Because no one watches them.
That's not true. Everybody freaked out when Spider-Man appeared in Civil War. Like,
I will say
everyone also freaked out when he became emo for some random reason in that movie. And just made himself completely irrelevant.
That movie was terrible. We don't talk about
that.
That movie was the death of Spider-Man, and he's never coming back.
That movie was pretty bad. But to Himanshu, to your point, I think I would like to see Sucker Punch do a new IP. Pretty much,
yeah.
Just work on something new because I know they have the pedigree to make it great. So
that's true. Yeah. It would be interesting to see what the guys really want to do, but maybe those guys want to do a Batman Arkham treatment to Spider-Man. Maybe they went and
Arkham Knight had a nice story.
We have,
yeah.
We have, but imagine really like putting a great developer like Rocksteady did with the Batman franchise. And putting it into a Spider-Man game, it could be fantastic.
It would be held back by the fact that the character is Spider-Man, and if you would just a new IP with that same core but a different skin on it, it would be so much better.
Did he like come into your room and like steal something from you? Or
yeah, what did he do to you, man?
I have an eternal grudge against Spider-Man. I hate Spider-Man. Okay, go swing your stupid cranes somewhere else, not in this city.
Oh man!
So
and there go all our listeners.
Really fan. So Himanshu loves Spider-Man. He's a really big fan. No, but in all seriousness, this is just rumors. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure, not necessarily this E3. Maybe if they're really working on a Spider-Man game, they really announce this. But we're gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, it's a big rumor. So
it's a big rumor. It could be a really huge move for Sony. Moving on, there's a pretty big week in terms of news. Moving on, I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. Mighty Number 9 has finally gone gold and is finally coming out.
Finally.
So, this game has gone through development hell. It's been delayed many times. It finally has a release date. I'm not sure actually what it is. I just check it out. What do you guys think of Mighty Number 9 in general?
I'm not angry about it anymore. I'm kind of just not going to play it anymore.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, I agree. I don't care about it, honestly. It's time has sailed past me, and there's too many other games to play. And
there are so many games to play. I don't like. It's so late. It's just so late.
And if I want to play Mega Man, I'll just go back to the collection and get my nostalgia.
Which isn't on Vita, which totally that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. That's not on Vita.
Yeah.
Speaking of not being on Vita, Mighty Number 9 had a release date, so we're all happy. The release date is June 21st in North America. And for PlayStation 4 and home consoles, PC, and handhelds will release on a later time, which means we will never get to play this game on Vita.
Yeah, well, plus No Man's Sky comes out near there, so...
Exactly.
That's my...
So, yeah.
Hopefully game
If you
of the
wanted
year,
to play this game on your Vita, you can start giving up by now.
I'm sorry, what was the release date again?
June 21st. On North America. Yeah.
Yeah.
June 24th on the rest of the world.
Star Ocean comes out the next week. I'll just save my money and buy that.
Yep. Same. There's too many...
Well,
We already have
a lot
other
of games
plans.
to play.
It's going to have to be like a $15 title to pull me in.
I think it's $20, so...
It better be
it's
on
not bad.
PS Plus free.
It might be...
wait a year.
Yeah, it might be like in a couple months. I wouldn't be surprised. So, last piece of news for right now. Watch Dogs 2 just got sort of a screenshot character model leak. What seems to be a main protagonist, he has pretty much the same vibe going on as Aiden Pierce from the previous game. Like, he has the mask and he has a phone, he's hacking stuff. And this is pretty much everything that's known right now, so it's probably a different character because the original character in the first game isn't very good. It's not a very good character. People don't like it.
So we have
just
another
bland.
gruff voice protagonist.
Yeah,
What's
he's just
going on, guys?
a bland, angry dude, and that's not the yeah. That's pretty much Josh just pretty much nailed the character.
Yeah. You like my yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I liked Watch Dogs fine. I platinumed it, and we're probably gonna get this announced at Ubisoft's press conference at E3.
Probably. And
yeah, probably.
It's another game that I just don't care about.
I like I said,
better open world games.
That's true. I'm kind of in an open world fatigue, but I enjoyed the first one fine. And if they improve on the first one, really, if they really improve it, it could turn out to be a really good game.
Well, if it's like Assassin's Creed 1 to 2,
exactly,
that would be pretty awesome. Then you might get my attention.
Yeah, if it's that, then it's probably gonna be a very good game.
Yep.
So that's pretty much it for the news. We're gonna speak about the new releases on PSN, and first, before that, we're gonna speak about the PlayStation Plus free games for the month of May. So, it's honestly not the greatest month. I'm gonna read out the PlayStation games. So, Bionic Commando Rearmed 2 for the PS3, God of War Ghost of Sparta for the PS Vita, which is really a PSP game, Loco Roco Choco Rechoco, good name.
Is it Coco Reco?
Coco Reco, yeah, Coco Reco.
Coco Reco. Recho, I don't know.
Ricoco Choco Roco.
Are we gonna play it?
I don't think so. That comes out on the PS3, Switch Galaxy Ultra for the PS4 and the Vita, Tabletop Racing World Tour for the PS4, and Tropico 5 for the PS4. So, not the strongest lineup.
Yeah. This is probably one of the weakest months, but
The best game is a PSP game.
Exactly, that's the thing. I went on my consoles today, and the only game I downloaded was a PSP game. So that should speak.
And it's not the deal. People always complain about the games, and I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think so too. I love PlayStation Plus.
Like Tropico 5, I'll try that out. You know, it's a strategy game. We don't get many of those.
That's true.
Overall,
have you played any of the Tropicos?
No, I've never played one.
It's
I've been
it's like
intrigued by it.
It's like SimCity, but in a tropical
island,
jungle.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only you're in the tropics. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the name might give that out.
A little bit.
So yeah, so that's the lineup for this month. We hope the kind of weak offerings will jump to a great offering in the next months. Maybe a good game, a good AAA, not necessarily a new game, but an old AAA game, just to kind of shut people off. That will be cool.
We're waiting for Knack. Come on, Sony.
Yeah,
Give us Knack.
Knack. Oh, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. That has.
No, I'm just kidding, but still.
But it's
Give
gonna
us Knack.
happen, whether you want it or not. We're gonna get Knack. You know that.
Yes, Knack.
I'll probably platinum it if they ever give it to me for free.
Sure.
Wait,
why
have you
not?
never
Why
played
not?
Knack before?
Nope.
Oh my
never
god,
played
dude.
I don't
I mean,
care to.
I played it. I don't have it. I played it for sure. Like, that's when the PS4 was dropping, and I used to watch live streams of Knack because I was so excited for the PS4, and I went to Walmart and played it, and it's fun for a couple of minutes, and then it gets really repetitive.
It's
Yeah.
it's not one of the worst games I've played in my life, but it's definitely down there somewhere.
Yeah, so if they give it to me for free, I will platinum it for sure.
That's what I
So
said.
it's not like
I found the game for like $7 or something, and I said, "Oh, I'll just platinum this because I'm stupid," and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's so bad.
You couldn't- it's
but it's
not
better
even-
than Spider-Man.
Not even worth the trophies.
It's better than Spider-Man.
Yeah, Knack
though,
or
right?
Spider-Man? Knack or Spider-Man?
Knack.
That's the question.
Knack.
Oh man. Oh man.
He doesn't even have to think about that. We're gonna have to try to find somebody that he hates.
He
more than
has like a
Spider-Man.
really big hatred for Spider-Man. He,
Spider-Man
like,
is just the dumbest character ever. It's so stupid.
Well, you don't think
He gets
someone
really
getting bit by a
angry.
radioactive spider is good
Yeah.
storytelling? Come on.
Come on. All comic book
Come on,
characters
man.
like are kind of corny and stupid, but I love them. I love comic books. I'm a nerd. So,
Yeah.
moving on. Let's talk a bit about the new releases on PSN. Anybody want to take this?
Sure, I got it.
Okay.
Let me just open this up first. Stall time.
Yeah.
And I had it open 2 seconds ago. Now it's
No
gone.
worries.
And it's
Well,
gone.
Josh beatboxes. Josh beatboxes. I dance while you look the thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm gonna get chills. I'm gonna get chills.
I know.
Oh god.
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh.
Okay, I
Yeah.
have the new releases
There
for
they are.
May 3rd, 2016. Number 1 is As Kend 2, The World Beneath, coming to PS4 and PS Vita, digital cross-buy.
I just bought that.
As Ken 2 is a casual match 3 puzzle game with more than 60 levels of impeccably polished gameplay. Discover and equip more than a dozen unique power-ups and complete his hidden object minigames on your journey. It actually doesn't look
It's a
very
PS
bad.
Vita title.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a PS Vita title too. So there you go.
A game that will probably sell less than Askend, Battleborn, coming to PS4, digital and retail.
Oh.
A tremendous band of badass heroes fight to protect the universe's very last star from a mysterious evil in this next-gen shooter by the creators of Borderlands. Slash and parry, run and gun, cast and dash, or simply obliterate foes while building and growing your personal team of heroes. Next game.
I'm renting that from the library, so I'll be playing.
I feel like
doesn't
that
get my
game's
money.
gonna bomb.
This
I feel like
game's
that
this
game's
game
gonna
is
bomb.
is coming out this week, and then on May 5th we have the Overwatch open beta on PC. So I'm gonna
Ouch.
go ahead and play that instead.
Ouch. So that's like a stab in the heart for Battleborn.
Yeah.
Buff Night
Bad
Advanced coming to PS4 digitally. Buff Night Advance is a 2D RPG where you're constantly on the move. Kill the invading monsters with your sword or by timing your use of spells carefully. As you progress, the game becomes more intense with stronger and uglier monsters. Collect artifacts and upgrade your items and attributes to become the most buff knight the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
The next game, Coffin Dodgers, coming to PS4 digitally. Coffin Dodgers sees you take on the role of saving... Okay.
You're reviewing this, aren't you?
Yeah, and Coffin Dodgers sees you take on the role of saving... No, this is actually not English. I thought it was my fault, but no, this is not even English.
That's just another language completely.
Yeah.
It's about people who are in coffins racing each other.
Exactly, pretty much. Yeah,
I'll
old
give
people
you-
racing and killing stuff.
I'll give you guys 2 lines as to what this game is about. You race in a Mario Kart ripoff, and it's not really good. And, 4 lines. The platinum is really, really easy, so if you like trophies, go buy it. But if you don't,
you're piquing my interest there.
If you don't want to hurt your feelings while playing it, don't buy it. It's actually it caused me
platinum Hannah Montana.
I mean,
I did not
consider
platinum
playing,
Hannah Montana.
I considered doing
Mario.
it. I didn't do it. I couldn't buy it. I don't remember why I was gonna buy it and I didn't end up buying it.
Oh, okay. I thought no, that's Brett. My bad.
Yeah,
it's bread. Yeah,
this game is. It actually caused me physical pain while playing it. It's that bad.
sounds fun.
I will not buy it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that.
But look out for my review in a day or 2 from now. The King of Fighters 2000 coming as a PS2 classic to PS4 digitally. The King of Fighters 2000 brings back the elements that made the success of its prequel King of Fighters 99 a huge success, while making the gameplay more accessible to an even wider audience. Numerous hero characters from SNK's nostalgic franchises join the roster, giving assistance to their team members via the new Active Striker gameplay feature. Never Ending Nightmares coming to PS4 and PS Vita digitally cross-buy. We do have a review for this going up, I think, soon.
I think it's up now, actually.
Okay, so it's up. Go read it. Experience true psychological horror as you explore nightmares inspired by the creator's struggle with depression and OCD. The defenseless protagonist must avoid monstrous manifestations of what haunts his subconscious in his quest to wake up into reality. The Park coming to PS4 digitally. A day at the park, a lost teddy bear, a missing child. As the sun sets over the Atlantic Island Park, you must explore its dilapidated rides in search of your son, Callum. As darkness falls, you will experience panic and paranoia through a narrative written by a team of award-winning storytellers. Push Me, Pull You comes to PS4 digitally. Push Me, Pull You is a local multiplayer game about friendship and wrestling. Joined at the waist, you and your partner share a long, wriggling body as you wrestle your opponents for the control of the ball. With every action affecting both you and your partner, PMPY combines the best part of co-op multiplayer with the worst parts of your last breakup. Ray Gigant coming to PS Vita digitally. Ray Gigant is a unique dungeon crawler RPG which combines dungeon crawling adventure with Japanese visual novel-like storytelling. Ray Gigant adopts a unique style of battle where you will be fighting massive enemies from different perspectives to engage in three-way view battles. Use the rhythm-based slash-beat mode to unleash deadly attacks while feeling the fate of the heroes resonate through their bodies. This game is getting pretty nice reviews, so if you're into those types of games, check it out. Shadow Complex Remastered PS4 coming to PS4 digitally. shares a fresh twist on classic side-scrolling design with modern cutting-edge gameplay is amplified in Shadow Complex Remastered, featuring 10 plus hours of exploration and fast-paced combat. From the award-winning original game, updated with graphical enhancements, new dynamic melee takedowns, and additional master challenges. And lastly, Tabletop Racing World Tour, coming to PS4 digitally. Get behind the wheel of 12 ultra-cool, fully tunable miniature racing cars and take on 20 racetracks through a comprehensive championship mode and a multitude of special events. Use power-ups and wheel weapons and blast your way to victory. There you go.
Cool.
So Shadow Complex Remastered being one of the big ones.
Yeah, that's my highlight of the list.
Yeah, I want to get it.
Xbox 360.
I never played it.
Yeah, it was a classic when it came out, so
yeah,
definitely want to check it out.
I'll play that. Yeah, I've heard great things about it. So there you go. Moving on, we are gonna talk a little bit about what we've been playing lately. So share with the people, guys.
Share with the people.
Josh.
Okay. I'll go first. Severed. I reviewed it. The review is live. It's going to be our game of the week, so I won't delve into it too much, but if you love your Vita at all, please buy it. It's a great game. Yeah, there's no excuse not to buy it, because even if you're not into first-person dungeon crawlers that are very old school, it's still a great game, and it was a lot of fun. Think Fruit Ninja, and you're on the right track, but better, much better than Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, Fruit Ninja with RPG elements and dungeon crawling elements and monsters.
And strategy and
yeah, there's a lot of
stuff.
It's not like a hack and slash game. There's quite a bit of strategy in it. So
right.
I've been playing Sever 2, and I also played Hitman Go. I planned on both those games in 2 nights. Really enjoyed them both. Really cool Vita experiences. Fantastic games.
Yeah, Hitman Go, I haven't really given it enough of a shot, but it was fun what I played with it.
It's really fun.
Really
it gets really tough at the end. Towards the end, it gets tough. Like, really tough.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I heard about that. And I've also been playing a little Ratchet and Clank 2, as I was talking about earlier. So, I have to return it to the library soon. I don't think I'm going to renew it, just because I've seen enough, and I know it's a great game, but I have other things I need to move on to. So
my PlayStation 4 is currently on with Ratchet and Clank running, because as soon as we finish this, I'm gonna get back to it. I love it.
you can just suspend the game play, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's just
he doesn't want to wait that 3 seconds.
Yeah, I just want to get into it immediately. I'm gonna try to finish it from here tomorrow, because I have next couple of days off at work, so I'm probably gonna finish that then. Really, really fantastic game. We spoke quite a bit about it on last week's episode, so we're not gonna really delve into it, but it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, and I'll just mention Dark Souls 3 is still on my playlist, and I love that game, and it's better. New Game Plus, I just beat the Boreal Dancer again. It was super tough this time around, but the first time I did it with co-op, this time I did it by myself after dying like 10 plus times, and I felt like a total badass, and I loved it. And that's what that game does to you. It empowers you.
Awesome. Anything you've been playing, Himanshu?
So, as usual, League of Legends, Hearthstone, and the new patch for Hearthstone is really interesting. So, if you like card games,
yeah, it changes the dynamic quite a bit. Yeah. I haven't played Hearthstone in a bit, but I love that game.
Yeah, I like how slow the meta has gotten. It's really nice for someone like me who likes to play control decks. But
exactly.
Enough of that PC nerd shit.
Yeah.
I've been
really,
playing
man.
Get out of here, PC nerds.
the
Master Race.
Grand Kingdom beta, which is a game coming out on PS4 soon. We had access to a press copy of the beta, which is interesting. It's fine. It's kind of like a turn-based strategy sort of RPG, but it's really different, and I implore you to go check out some gameplay videos. Maybe I'll pop one in here if I remember.
Cool.
And I'll put a marker there so I remember. Yeah, but it's kind of weird, kind of interesting, and it's definitely something to look out for if you like those types of RPGs that kind of have a little bit of a strategy twist to them. Furthermore, I've been playing some Neo Alpha demo, which is
I forgot to mention it.
yeah, not very good. It seems like Koei Tecmo, is it? Didn't really understand what makes Dark Souls, and I guess the same goes for Bloodborne. Just because you make the enemies one-shot you doesn't necessarily mean it's good game design, and I don't think they got that. And you can really see the age of the game when you're playing it because it has been in development for like over 10 years. But yeah, it's just not great.
Just to say, it is alpha, so it is early. But
Yeah.
I agree with your points. The opening start looks cool. It has like that fire wolf or whatever with the sword, and I like how they go back to the Dark Souls way of you go over someone's grave where they fallen, you can challenge them or see where they died. But the game was very stilted. It felt very fast, and you moved very weirdly. And the combat, I like the 4 stances that you could assume. That was a nice little touch with each weapon, but still, like you said, you get one-shotted way too easily by just regular guys, and it seems like it's not balanced correctly. You get better armor, so that doesn't happen later on, but yeah, I just wasn't feeling it with the alpha. But I still have high hopes for this, so I'll just wait it out.
Yeah, I was super hyped when I saw the trailer at E3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, PlayStation Experience.
Yeah, PlayStation Experience, and that's kind of died down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer. It seemed really cool. I haven't played it. I kind of trust you guys.
What else is there that I've been playing? There was one more game. Oh yes, Coffin Dodgers. Don't play it.
Don't play that game.
Yeah,
Don't play that game.
That's the recommendation. Don't play it.
I think that's gonna get the lowest review score that I've ever given a game.
Wow. I'm
But it's a little bit of a
intrigued to
teaser.
read this review.
Yeah, I kind of want to read it. I feel like he's gonna get all Spider-Man on the review, you know?
Yeah, I'm
like,
just
oh,
talking
man.
about. That's actually why I'm so angry at Spider-Man's, because he's the main character.
Exactly.
And everybody else gives it like 9s and 10s because Spider-Man's in it.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on. Let's jump into the game of the week. Like Josh said, it is Severed, the PlayStation Vita exclusive by Drinkbox, the guy who made Guacamelee. Some guys who have really supported the Vita and are really very, very talented. I spoke about it last week because I was the only one that had played it. But Josh played it and reviewed it, also loved it. So I feel like I've already spoken quite a bit about this game, so I want you, Josh, to just say what you think about it.
Well, elaborating on what you said last week when you said you played it for like 3 hours straight before getting on, it did the same thing for me. Like it was a game I didn't really want to put down. I was mesmerized with the setting, the architecture of everything. I love how Drinkbox uses that color palette just to bring out everything. Look lighthearted, but it is a very dark game, and I found
it's
it
not
a
like
lot more
Guacamelee.
intriguing.
Guacamelee was it was very bright and goofy, and this one is also very bright and a lot of colors, but it's a very dark game. Sad dark game.
I was really surprised how well it worked because, swiping games don't really work well unless it's like Fruit Ninja. And the strategy with each enemy encounter and the way it kept building how you learn into the game as you go on was really nice. And the power-ups you get, it keeps feeding you things at a good pace. There is a lot of backtracking, so if that's not your thing, you might not like this. And I wish they would have had maybe more of a, not too much random encounters, but more so you did more fighting instead of just aimlessly wandering for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But overall, it
exactly.
was yeah.
Josh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
Yeah, that you don't like the backtracking stuff as much, and I'm the opposite spectrum. Whenever I got a new ability or something I knew I could use in a place that, I wandered through a dungeon and I saw a mark and I said, oh, when I get this power up, I'm gonna go back here, I'm gonna get some bonus stats. Whenever I got a new power up, I got really excited, and the first thing I did was go back and make sure I explored everything I could and then keep going. I love backtracking.
Yeah, and the art style is so beautiful that it's not a big problem, but it would have been nice if they would have padded more, because it is a short game.
It's a very short game.
A lot of that is backtracking, so I wish they would have made it longer, maybe added a few more dungeons, and then made it so you could fast travel and have the same length. I think that would have worked in its favor better. But yeah, overall, we're singing praises for it because it deserves it, and it deserves your money. It's very cheap. It's just $14.99.
Like I said,
if you own a
Vita,
exactly, just buy it.
You have to buy it. You have to support people who make Vita exclusives in 2016. You have to. You owe it to yourself.
Yeah. Even if you don't play it, just take it like an offering.
Yeah, and I don't want to repeat myself way too much, but like I said last week, on paper, I shouldn't like this game. And I'm sure many people go, no, yeah, that's not really my kind of game. It's not my kind of game. Not at all. Like, first-person dungeon crawlers are not really that much of my thing. Touch-based games aren't really that much of my thing, and I adore the game. I put, I think, 8 hours into it. I platinumed it. It's a very easy platinum, by the way, and I loved it. I wish I could keep on playing it.
Right on. I agree. 9 out of 10.
Exactly, a 9.
Boom.
I got a 9 out of 10. I would have given it probably a 9 too, yeah. So, by Severed, support developers who make Vita exclusives. Now, let's jump to topic of the week, which is EGLX. Now, neither Josh nor I attended EGLX, but Himanshu did, and he loved it, and he is going to tell you some cool stories.
Yeah, so EGLX was this past weekend, and it was up in Toronto, Canada. I'm from Ottawa, so I drove there woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, drove there on the Friday, and spent the day walking around the show floor, meeting people, playing some games, buying a lot of merch, and it was awesome. It was actually amazing. The vibe on the show floor was something very different from what a lot of cons are kind of like, where it was a lot more friendlier, a lot more open, and I felt like the people were just all having a great time, and you felt that, and by extension you kind of felt the same way. And Yeah, that was the Friday, and then on the Saturday and the Sunday, me and Matt, who is a writer for Gaming Enthusiast, sat at the Enthusiast.gg booth, taking turns, and we were showing off the new site to some of the guests at EGLX, and the reception was great. I think a lot of people liked the new site. Speaking of which, if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't already checked out the new website, make sure you do so. There will be a link in the description, I'm sure. And yeah, sign up for that and interact with some cool gaming guys like me and Josh and Mario.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. The new website, just to speak about it shortly, the new website is all about joining gamers, and joining them and creating communities based on stuff people like. So if you really like Fallout 3, for example, and you can just go to the Fallout 3 community and speak with awesome people. It's a very cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Runs well.
Exactly. So keep going.
So yeah, that was what we did in our kind of intermediate breaks, but we also walked the show floor and played a lot of cool games. Some of the there were a lot of PC games, unfortunately. There was one PS4 game called Lost Orbit, and that was really interesting. And I think that the developer for that is going to send us a code soon, so that we might be able to do a little feature on it. The game's been out on PS4 for a little while, but I don't think it got the buzz that it deserved. So I think we should do a little video feature on that. And there were some interesting panels. I know one of the most crowded panels was the how to become a professional gamer. As you could probably guess, it was very popular at the show floor. Unfortunately, Santorin, the League of Legends player, didn't show up to the panel. Don't know why, but Mad Max, who's a Halo, Mad Max, who's a Halo streamer, and Heisendonger, as well as another League of Legends streamer who I can't remember her name. They spoke a little bit about their experiences and what people should be doing to join them in the high rankings of Twitch. But yeah, that was just one of the panels that we got to attend and be part of. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. There were a lot of cool games to play, and just overall, it was a great vibe. A lot of the people were really nice, and they were all there to have fun, and it definitely showed in the attendance. One other thing that I'd like to point out, the Sunday was really odd. I know I was speaking to Erica Sabo, who's another moderately famous YouTuber, and she was surprised that so many families were there on a Sunday, and as was I, and it was really weird. It's like I don't know how the Enthusiast guys marketed it, but like we had a huge crowd for competitive gaming, like 10 feet away, and then hundreds of families as well on the other side. And it was so weird because you got to see the Smash guys screaming and yelling and cheering, and then on the other side you have like a bunch of kids running around and having fun playing arcade games and Minecraft and all of these kinds of things, and it was so weird, but it was
that sounds really cool.
Yeah. There were tons of cool people there. Meg Turney was there. You might know her from SourceFed or Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Erica Sabo was there, and yeah, a bunch of cool people. I was there. I'm a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
We're somebodies.
If you may say so yourself.
Yeah, so I'm excited to go next year. Hopefully that happens, and hopefully we get to see a lot of our PlayStation Enthusiast listeners, maybe some other PlayStation Enthusiast writers, cough, show up to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have it. I live in Ohio, so
Yeah, I know Brett was
like
I
mentioning.
live in Florida.
Brett was saying something
you have a
about
little
it
more
not
of a
being
excuse.
too bad of a drive. So let's try to get Brett up here.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm looking to go next.
Let's see
year.
what we can do next year. Yeah, let's see what
Yeah.
we can do.
E3 is
So,
too far.
E3 is
but-
right around the corner.
yeah.
E3 is right around the
that too.
corner. I'm going. Himanshu is likely going. Josh is sadly not going. But we're very excited
rub
to
it
be
in,
there
guys.
and cover it.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
we're
a
gonna
good
cover
time.
it. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. We're very excited. So that's EGLX. Fun times. Hope you went there. If you went there, you're pretty cool. If
Oh,
you didn't,
I
buy your
forgot.
tickets for next year.
Forgot to mention one more thing. I wanted to show you guys a piece of merch that I got. As I mentioned before, I got tons of merch. Oh, and I also wanted to talk about one small game. I completely forgot,
Uh-oh.
and then I looked at the side and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a Mega Man 2 3D type of handmade.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
So this was really cool, and
Sweet.
they had a bunch of stuff out there.
Wow, that's
And-
really cool.
Yeah, I
That's
saw it.
really, really cool.
Had to pick it up. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
How much did that cost? That's really cool.
40 Canadian dollars, so about 3 cents US.
Yeah, so about a
yeah.
penny.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Pretty
a penny.
penny.
Yeah.
And then there was also this one game that I wanted to talk about because it was really cute. It was called Cat Date, and then, while the game wasn't on the show floor, they had some really cool pins, and you should check them out on Twitter.
So there you go.
Yeah,
Cat date.
Cat Date.
A game called Cat Date I have to check out.
Basically, you play as a what their pitch was. You play as a cat, and you date other
And you're
cats.
trying to date?
You date
Yeah.
other cats, and through that, you learn empathy. That was their pitch. I thought that was
Wow.
pretty cool. I want to learn how to be
I
empathetic.
love indie games. I love indie games
All
so
for
much.
original ideas. Yep.
They get so weird and wonderful sometimes. Oh god.
Yeah, so I
Awesome.
want to ask everyone who's listening to go tweet at Austin and Diana. That's their Twitter handle, Austin and Diana. Tweet at them and say, "Bring Cat Date to Vita."
Yeah. Yeah. and it
Better on the
belongs
Vita.
on Vita. I haven't seen anything about this game, but I know it belongs on Vita because every game belongs on Vita.
You said it.
Yeah, simple as that. So, anybody feel like pimping out anything they're working on for the website?
There will be a very
Let's
special
see.
video coming on Friday, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Cool.
so stay tuned.
That's it. I got a Party Hard review coming up. And
How are you liking that so far?
It was decent. It was pretty good. It's
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Mindless fun. I wish there was. I guess you can read my review when it goes up, but I wish there
Yeah,
was
exactly.
some things
If
that
you're
could be
intrigued-
changed because I really wanted to like it. Yeah.
If you're intrigued about what Josh thinks, then stay tuned for the review.
Yeah. And plus the Magic Circle Gold Edition. That'll be up later in the week whenever I have time to write for it. But
That's the one where
that
you play
was-
like an unfinished RPG character or something like that, right?
yeah, it's very obtuse and different, which is a good and a bad thing, which I will elaborate on in my review.
If you want to know if it's a good or a bad thing, then stay tuned for the review.
There you go.
Exactly. That's it. That's how you pimp stuff. So, I am the news editor. I hardly ever write anything other than news. So just
We just-
tune in.
We just need to
Just
give you
tune in.
Uncharted 4 to review.
Exactly. Yeah. I need to give me Uncharted 4 and I'll write the review and be done. That will
I think
be my
Brett
first
might
There
be
you
review.
go.
Brett might be stealing that one.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
oh, yeah, I
he's
bet
not
he
gonna
already
let
stole
anybody
it.
touch that. Do you think he's gonna give anybody the game like, yeah, you play it? No, he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that.
Hey, he took
There's
Persona
not a chance in
Persona
hell.
Dancing all night, so I'm
Exactly.
sure he took it.
Dude, if I got the opportunity to play Uncharted 4, I wouldn't give it to anybody. That would
Right.
be mine.
I would give
I'm
it
going to
away.
get it
Yeah.
physical, though. So
Let the record show
Get my
that I would have
physical
given it
copy.
away.
Yeah, oh. He's a kind soul.
you say that right now.
I actually just don't care about Uncharted. That's the only thing.
We
Oh,
really
man.
need a segment of the show that's called Himanshu's Unpopular and Controversial Opinions of the Week. And just
yeah.
let him ramble on
That's
for
the
like
entire
every
show,
week.
actually. Actually, the
Yeah,
entire
exactly. That's
show
pretty
is
much
just filled
yeah,
with-
that's pretty much the entire show. Actually,
Well, I've
that should be the,
listened. I've
the new
listened to
name
your
of the
other.
podcast.
I've listened to your other podcast, and you pretty much do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm filled
So-
with them.
Yeah. So yeah, well, that's pretty much it for tonight's show. Anybody want to speak about anything else? We can burn a little bit of time.
I didn't get a chance to go see Jungle Book. I didn't get a chance to go see
No,
Ratchet
me
and
neither.
Clank. I watched the new
Oh.
Game of Thrones episode. It was meh. A lot of people freaking
was
out for
meh.
no reason. Yeah.
People are loving it. Yeah.
It was.
ending.
It's so predictable. It's so predictable, and I hate it.
We shouldn't really speak more about it. It's really obvious, but people might get like butthurt and stuff. So yeah. In terms of movies, I went and saw Keanu last week. That's from
That looks
Key and Peele.
hilarious.
I love those
Yeah.
guys. That movie was hilarious. I really laughed like crazy. And I'm gonna go see Civil War in 2 days, featuring
Sweet.
Himanshu's favorite character, Spiderman.
we
Let me
already
just
know
go-
he's in it. So
Let me
it's
just go ahead and say, all Marvel characters are stupid as hell.
Oh my god.
Every single
This
one.
is-
Oh, okay. Oh damn.
Every single
gonna be
one
a-
of them.
What about DC?
We're gonna get
Is
in-
DC
no,
stupid?
There's a lot of cool DC characters though.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we got a DC guy.
But
here.
I don't-
I'm also a DC guy.
I
To
don't
be
like
honest.
read very many comics, but I don't. When I see a cool comic, I see a cool comic. I couldn't care less if it was Marvel or DC. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you. 95% of the time is DC.
I like DC better. I read Marvel stuff. I'm actually reading through Civil War right now, for the first time. But yeah, I love DC. What's your favorite comic book character, other than Spider-Man?
I find Batgirl very interesting.
Batgirl's pretty cool.
Of course.
Batgirl's pretty cool. Yeah.
Are you excited for Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I am actually very very. Excited
Oh, I
for
am.
Suicide.
So am I.
Yeah,
I really
that's
wanna watch
one
it.
DC movie I really want to see.
Yeah.
I really hope they pull it off. And it
you
sounds like
guys-
they're going to Marvel for
Yeah.
inspiration, and I like.
Do you
that.
guys finally
I don't like that. I'm
saw
afraid of that.
Batman vs
Yeah.
Superman?
Yeah. What's that?
What'd you guys think of Batman vs Superman?
I
I
never
liked
saw it, so don't spoil it.
Oh,
I have.
I'm
not
just
gonna
gonna
spoil
buy the super uncut version and watch that so I can get a good opinion on it.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Okay.
it yet, but it was spoiled for me, unfortunately, thanks Twitch chat.
it
But-
happens. Twitch is not a very good place. I've been staying off Twitch because Uncharted 4, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's honestly the one. The Game of Thrones episode did get spoiled for me. Like someone just tweeted the name, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that someone just tweeted that, and another person retweeted it, and I'm like, oh, all right, well, thanks, fucking asshole.
Thank you. So yeah, that's the show. We should wrap it up. So that's PlayStation Enthusiast Podcast, episode 6. Like I said, I'm one of your hosts, Mario Piacquadio. You can find me on Twitter and every social media at Mario Not Bros. Josh, where can they find you?
I'm at minus the Brant on Twitter and on PSN. So check it out.
Yeah, check it out. And what about you, Himanshu?
My name is Himanshu Talwar. You can find me on Twitter at Senor Browncat. That's SENORBO. Oh no, I messed it up. SENORBROWNCAT. I'm still
There
tired
we
from
go.
EGLX, so don't
Yeah,
blame me too
we
much.
can see that. Yeah, that's cool. I'm probably gonna go
Rest
to bed
up.
too. Yeah. So yeah, that's the show, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.